Real estate seems to be crashing in LA County. One report showing that transactions are down 25%. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go into Orange County. And Orange County has seen some shocking headlines that are not good for the housing market. Adrian, what are you doing, man? How's it going?
It's a terrifying world out there, Zuber. It's a terrifying world. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic about it for sure, but I mean, numbers don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie.
So folks, we're going to go through information for May, which is really the final month of the spring selling season. It has come in, and we're going to start to get data just how bad it was. And let me just lead you with the headline. It is worse than people thought was possible. So, Adrian, let's do days on market first, because I don't think people really realize how bad it is out there. What do you got?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, guys. And for those of you that are flippers, for those of you that are getting into flipping, just be careful. Stay within the median price. I'm going to share some market times with you right now, and I want you to take those into consideration when you're looking at your holding cost. Because, last year was, on average 2 months, and now we have an additional 3 to 4 months of holding costs, which can drastically change your deal. So let's get into it. When you look at the entry level pricing, right, from $0 to $1 million in Orange County, and you guys, this is all of Orange County. So north, south, east, west, right? Last year, we were on average 39 days on market. Okay. You guys ready for the drum roll of today?
Not good.
Insane, guys. 64 days. It literally doubled.
Wow. Inside of a year, it's doubled. Again, that's more supply, less demand, all the above. Not good. And that's entry level. That's first time home buyer. That's, move in ready. That's not good, Adrian. Hopefully it gets better from here.
Now, you guys, that's 15%. If we look at all of the active inventory, that 0 to $1 million accounts for 15% of active inventory, with a demand of about 20%. So it's the only area in Orange County that you see demand higher than what actually is on the market.
Yeah, and that's really important, because, again, I keep telling people we have a broken housing market. Let me say that again. The housing market is broken. It's been broken for 3 or 4 years. It will be broken for another 3 or 4 years, because we don't have the move up buyer. They're staying put. So it is not shocking that the only price segment in Orange County that has a positive ratio is below the median. I would expect that to be true for most of the country. So it sounds like it gets uglier from here. What do you got next?
Yeah, now it gets absolutely wild, right? So now you take a look at, we're going to chunk this down, okay? So when you look at $1 million to $1.25 million, this is how much it changes. Last year, we had 27 days on market. Now, $1 million to 1.25, that's a real, it's a decent house. Today, guys, 27 last year, we're at 62 today.
Yeah, that's not good, Adrian. That's not good.
With it being about 11% of the active inventory, 15% buyer demand, we're still seeing that. However, Zuber, when I look at that, I'm like, okay, we're 4% higher on buyer demand, but yet market time has tripled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's telling you a couple of units move quickly, but most do not. That's what that's telling you.
So now we look at 1.25 to 1.5. Last year, 30 days on market. Today, 67 days on market. And this is where things start to turn, because now that represents 10% of the active inventory, and we got about 10% of the buyer demand. So it's pretty equaled out there, right?
Yeah.
Now we hit 1.25 to 2 million. Last year,
1.5 to 2 million.
Sorry. I'm sorry. 1.5. And actually, let's look at it this way. 1.5 to 2.5. So let's just take a look at that, right? Because this is crazy, guys.
Right.
Last year, 37 days on market.
That's screaming.
This year, 115.
Oh, and people wonder why the housing market is broken. This drives Crash Bros crazy. Again, folks, 1.5 to 2.5 is a luxury home in Orange County. This is the stuff that's stacking up. This isn't buyer's demand, not there. This is where you could go get some. Again, if I was fishing in Orange County, I would be all over that market, but I'd be writing stupid offers, because I know somebody in there is motivated, and that's where I'd be doing. Woo. That's crazy. 115 days, you said?
115 days.
Dude, that's 300%. That's more than 300% increase. That's not good, Adrian. Does it get worse from there?
It gets way worse. If I just looked at 2 million to 2.5, it's 123 days. Which only represents, and then this is what's crazy, there's only a 6% demand for it.
Dude, that's, again, if I was in that, I'd be writing stupid offers.
Stupid. And then it gets really crazy, guys. Let's just jump forward. Let's look at 4 million to 6 million. Last year, you were able to sell a house in 154 days. Now, you're not selling until next year. You're 216 days on market with 2% buyer demand. 6 million, you're not selling your house for 2 years, 367 average days on market, 8% of active inventory, 2% buyer demand last year. Well, so this is crazy. Last year, 384 days. I'm actually just looking at this number now, and I'm actually kind of shocked. Last year, 384 days. This year, 376. It went down.
Well, that just tells you again that part of the market is not. It's those people that play said 6 million, right? 6 million above. They're just not normal, right? Money is not an object to them. They do what they want when they want. That's what that tells me.
That's a different life, right?
I don't live that life.
That's only 2%, right? That's only 2% of the marketplace. So you can't really put real numbers on a 2% buyer demand, right? You got 2 buyers at 6 million.
Yeah, so this is really crazy because again, folks, this is why again Redfin just told us that buyer demand is gone. But again, you've got to understand your local market, your buy box. Below the median, even in Orange County, a high price market, still moving. You get above the median, you go 2x the median. Come on, you're effed. And again, we can go back, Adrian. You have a playlist on this channel, and if we go back up 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, what was I warning you? I'm like, dude, you flippers, you got to buy better. Stop using your old ARVs. You're wrong. You got to plan for 2 months of holding costs. I am hearing from more and more flippers that they are seeing inventory sit and they're getting desperate. I told you, I warned you to buy better, and you didn't. You thought you were better than the market. You are never better than the market. Wise up.
And we sell a lot to flippers, and right now that's what we're getting a lot of. They're just like, hey, we're not, we're going from 50 to 20. We're, so we're seeing that on our side. We're getting really squeezed on price. Even some of the houses. So we do a lot of net listings where we'll put a house on the market that's far below market value. Now, I'll give you an example. We have a property in La Mirada. Comps in the neighborhood are 1.8, 1.9. We listed it for 1.3. Pretty nice. It still hasn't moved.
Wow.
And we've been on the market for 58 days and it still has not moved. Not even a disrespectful offer.
Let me ask you about that. So again, it's been on market how long? How many days? 60?
64 days, 58, 60 here. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah, so it's okay. It doesn't matter. Let's call it 60 days. Did it get a lot of showings and activity the first 2 weeks and then it turned into crickets, or what happened?
So we did a show, we did an open house, we got people to come by, and then it just stopped. And then everything else in the neighborhood hasn't moved either. Now, if you look at La Mirada, 1.35 is actually what we're on the market at. 1.35, that's much higher than the median in La Mirada, right? The median in La Mirada is about 850. So we're a little bit higher than the median. If the house is not, it's not over the top, but we have comps in the area. Like I'm looking at a comp right now that sold for 1,795. We haven't moved yet.
Oh man, sometimes it's fun to be right. Again, the housing market is slowing down. If you are a flipper or buyer in this market, it's time to seek out motivated sellers, disrespectful offers, ask for credits, ask for seller seconds. I mean, this is the time, it's going to get really good in the winter. It's going to get really good in the winter if you're a buyer. A seller, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at this, right? Last year, so we're 75% higher in active inventory this year than we were compared to last year. This year, we're at 4,595 houses on the market. Last year, we were 2,620. In 2023, we were 2,190. Now we're at close to 46, literally 5 off to 4,600 houses on the market. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. We're 2% less pending sales than we were last year, 3% less than 2 years ago. However, again, guys, this is Orange County, so it's a little bit different. If we dived into Los Angeles County, or we dived into San Bernardino County, Riverside County, these numbers are drastically different. We're seeing, pending sales at, sitting on the market 15, 20% longer than we did last year, right? Parts of Orange County are just different. And then we look at areas in Orange County that are pretty normal, like Santa Ana and Orange, and those have really high days on market. So
yeah, it's really interesting, because when you look at demand, and this is definitely a demand shock. I've told people since Liberation Day, we have just introduced so much uncertainty into the market that everybody is nervous. And in fact, I go back to the most important number of the last 2 weeks. That was on a Friday. It was consumer savings rates. Again, folks, if you don't know by now, the U.S. economy is built on consumers. We're roughly 68% of the economy. We have record credit card debt, all of this stuff. However, inside of a month from Liberation Day, our average savings rate went from 0.6 to 4.8. The consumer is scared, sitting on their wallet. Conserve, conserve, conserve. The consumer is afraid. This is not good.
Wow. Not good at all. And, it's an interesting little thing that Stephen Thomas, I get all these numbers from Stephen Thomas, and he put in here, homeowners he broke it down. In California, 80% of all mortgages have an interest rate of 5% or lower. 64% have a rate of about 4%, and 29% have a rate of 3% and below. With mortgage rates bumping around 7% for the past few years, the argument has been that the mortgage lock-in effect has prevented homeowners from placing their home on the market. While very few homeowners have put their house on the market in 2023, the first full year of a higher mortgage rate environment, following the rise of 3.25 to 7.37 in 2022, most homeowners are just sitting.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Again, I've told you for years, and thankfully been right, that the housing market is broken. The broken housing market keys on the fact that move-up sellers are refusing to participate. The move-up buyer is an anchor, a key to a normal housing market. Why? Because they are two transactions. They are a seller and a buyer. And what we have done is we've just taken the move-up buyer and said, no mas, you're not playing. The only people selling today have to, for whatever reason. And that's how you get only 4 million transactions for the country. That's how you get days on market doubling or more. And it's all you have, a broken housing market. It's just is.
It's crazy. So you guys, going after off-market deals is really important. Looking at those houses that have been on the market for 100 days and throwing in low offers. That's what we're doing. I literally have one gal, Stephanie. She's amazing. She's literally sits there all day long and just makes crazy offers on these listings. And it works.
Yeah. At the end of the day, and you know what? She may turn into your best employee, meaning return on effort, over the next 90 to 180 days. Because what happens in this environment is she'll make a crazy low offer. She'll get told to F off, but then she'll follow up in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks. And at some point, she's the only game in town. And the seller will either A, take it off the market, or B, sell it to you. At the end of the day, when you have a seller that has a listing, there's only 3 options. They sell to you, they sell to someone else, or they take it off the market. It's that simple.
It's that simple. So you guys, those of you that are active in the market right now is the time to double down. Just like the hat says, do the work. Now is the time, the most important time to do the work. Because I firmly believe this. If you can survive this, it's game over when the market turns. You will destroy it. You will crush it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, folks, as I've said all year, it's the year of the investor. I've also said, if you're in the business, this is the last hard year. That is certainly true, turning out to be true. But I've also told you, get ready, because 2026 will be better, at least on an incremental basis when compared to 25. Adrian, where can people find you?
Guys, Castro on Instagram at Adrian Hernandez. And if you haven't done so already, I don't know why you haven't, click that subscribe button.
Thanks, family. Take care.
Appreciate you guys.